book. Yes, yep, Lilith is going to be mentioned in this. So let me make some little bit of changes right quick. Okay, now that we can definitely have me become blind, I'll just wait a little bit for people to come flocking in like pigeons to, I don't know, somebody throwing bread out in near Times Square, I think, and they start pecking it up. Yeah, so wait for that. But yes, this is going to actually be involving the lunar eclipse that's going to be happening on November. No, to work. On November 19th, the partial lunar eclipse is going to be involved. Anybody speak involving the eclipse, which is kind of, to me, it's like I kind of whiffed something, but still. So without further ado, I'm going to just say the evocational prayer. Yeah, of course, Rachel. Because we're going to need Lilith to get involved in this because, you'll see. Maven of the night, upon flight of black wings, egalitarian of the upon grace of poise of flow, the light soon. Okay. Well, I'm taking that as a sign that, okay, we most definitely might have her appearing, because I have never had that happen twice in a row like that. Well, that's nice to know. So, the lunar eclipse on Friday. Now, a lot of people are saying that it's, like, not going to happen again for another hundreds of years. Okay. But there's something else in conjunction with the moon and Rahu, or the North Node. There's something else joining the two. It's just not Rahu and the moon, or North Node. Black Moon Lilith is in the conjunction as well. And if you're not familiar with the planet of Kayla, if you're not familiar with the shadow planet Black Moon Lilith, pretty much Black Moon Lilith is a mathematical point, also known as a shadow planet, just like Rahu and Ketu, the nodes in the moon. And it's not a real planet. It's calculated by the moon's orbit, the farthest point of it, from Earth's position. So the farthest point where a moon has its orbit, the farthest away from Earth at that point, that's Black Moon Lilith. No. Pluto takes things and overkills it, like completely flips it. Black Moon Lilith is best said is the unknown. At the very core of it all, unknown. Because you have no idea what she's going to do. But there are some other aspects to her when it comes to how she affects other planets and the moon primarily. And this conjunction with Rahu for the eclipse, it's going to actually show what Black Moon Lilith does whenever the moon gets involved with her. So, essentially, in order for Black Moon Lilith to exist, there has to be moon. Without the moon, she doesn't exist. And also, for another side note, there are 3 celestial bodies when using astrology that have share the name Lilith. There's Asteroid Lilith, Dark Moon Lilith, and Black Moon Lilith. Of the 3, Black Moon Lilith is the most powerful. Asteroid and Dark Moon, they're much more minor. And they each have their minuscule aspect that affects the native. Black Moon Lilith has the most pull and the most effect. And it actually has the most Lilithian energy in it. So, when it comes to whenever Black Moon Lilith is involved with Moon, regardless of what sign it is, regardless of what house it's in, and regardless of what other planets are conjunct with Moon and Lilith. Lilith protects the Moon above everything else. Because whenever Moon is in jeopardy, if Moon takes damage and gets hindered or negatively affected, Lilith gets it too. And if something happens to the Moon and is gone, she's gone. So a good way to look at it, it's like mother and daughter. Daughter protects mother. Because without mother, daughter can't exist. That's the way I like to look at it. But now when Black Moon Lilith is conjunct alongside planets besides Moon, Venus, and Saturn, there's a kind of a special, unique thing about that I'll get into in a second. But say, like, a good example is Rahu. With this eclipse, when it happens, Rahu is going to be on top of the Moon. Shortly behind, like right behind the Moon, is Black Moon Lilith. So you can kind of have the visual picture of there's Moon getting hit by Rahu, and then as Rahu is getting a hold of her, you have Black Moon Lilith looking over like, oh, you've gone messed up. Whenever Black Moon Lilith comes in conjunct with any other planet besides Moon, Venus, and Saturn, Black Moon Lilith takes full control of that planet and pretty much takes control and makes it do her bidding and pushes her agenda. Whatever she does for that native, she takes full control of that planet, and until Black Moon Lilith gets her empowerment and what makes her feel empowered and essentially how she gets her gains and her desires, until she gets them, this planet doesn't get anything. Takes full control of it and actually uses it as a vehicle to get what she needs and what she wants and her empowerment. It has potential. It does have potential, Maddie, but the best way that I would say, Moon gives a very youthful appearance and a more gentle appearance. But with Black Moon Lilith getting involved, it's more of a, and it has the youthful appearance that just has something that pulls people. Something about it just pulls people. And even people think, I don't know why I'm attracted to you, but there's just something about you. And I have it too. That's the placement. But, so, this conjunction is going to be happening in Taurus. In the sign Taurus, Moon and Rahu have their exaltation effect. Specifically, I can't remember the exact degrees, but so you're having Moon and Rahu be in a state of almost full exaltation. Because when you put Moon in Taurus, which in the Vedic system, Moon considers Taurus its Motragone, the sign where it's most comfortable, its exaltation point. And Rahu is the same way. Reason being, with Moon in Taurus, you're taking a nurturing, motherly planet, and you're putting her in the sign of the cow, the bull. What does a cow do? Provide nourishment, nurture, and pretty much raise and pretty much caretake and raise the calf and life. So Moon is stable, fruitful, and is actually able to caretake in a balanced, practical, and being able to give sustenance to all around her. Now you take Rahu, you put that in Taurus. Rahu is that energy like Pac-Man. That's the best way I can describe it. He noms on everything and does not stop. You're putting him in Taurus, the sign of the senses and indulgence of the five senses. Rahu is like a Pac-Man head in a candy store and does not stop. So Rahu is having a ball game and pretty much enjoying and taking on these feelings of like, these sensations are good, I'm never going to stop. But now the Moon is in there too. Essentially, the eclipse brings this kind of very obsessive, emotional overkill of needing to experience the worldly pleasures in an overblown way. And since moon's also the emotional and the imagination and how one emotionally reacts to the environment, you can actually see a lot of that nasty thoughts and a lot of nasty stuff going on and urges. I think didn't I tell you how to do that, Maddie? Black Moon Lilith and Virgo gets vengeance by literally tearing somebody to shreds and nitpicking every little wrong thing about them, micromanaging them to the finest point, and just being completely like a piranha on them, just criticizing every little thing nonstop. There's your vengeance. But now Black Moon Lilith gets involved, along with this eclipse. So Black Moon Lilith in Taurus, that's a friendly sign to her. But also, Black Moon Lilith also relies on the moon, which now Black Moon Lilith has moon as the dispositor. So wherever moon's at and how she is, Black Moon Lilith takes that effect of it too. But since she's with the moon, she's essentially in a conjunction with her most intimate planet, so she protects it. And she's in a sign where she's feeling comfortable. So what she does to this lunar eclipse conjunction, if there is any form, especially this involves any women that are in a situation where there's domestic violence or they're being abused, neglected, or mistreated, on that eclipse, you may most definitely see a lot of women who are being abused put their foot down and actually take harsh action and put a stop to it. They will stand up and start going at the aggressor and say, you're not going to abuse me anymore. You're not going to put your hands on me like that anymore. You're not going to think that I'm just an object to you. Because that's also Black Moon Lilith. Taking a stand against someone who's abusing you. That's Black Moon Lilith. And in this conjunction too, that's where the empowerment is going to come from. That's where you can see with Black Moon Lilith's placement, depending on what house and sign it is, in this case is Taurus, one's empowerment for living a life that's actually fulfilling the senses and comforting and convenient with gains, wealth, and fixed assets. In order to get that sense of empowerment, there's going to have to be taking a stand against something that has been overkilled in terms of in terms of the collective's emotions, feelings, and how they emotionally react to dark situations and obsessive situations, which also represents Rahu. If by any chance you do magical workings of any kind of occult practice or any kind of magical workings, regardless of what it is, it's going to get an insta-boost. Because Black Moon Lilith also represents the occult, the unknown. And she's also a divine that actually is tied with occult and witchcraft. So anything done on that day, potent boost, especially vengeance work, or return to sender, or anything that involves getting revenge. For example, like say if you have a lover and they were going off with somebody else, like a two-time twat, okay, you can actually do some kind of revenge, baneful work towards them. It's going to be extra potent. And you don't even just have to swing at the, dim-witted guy that you were with. You can also go for the other person too. It's both guilty. Well, if you're going to go to the extreme with how Queen Harry would look at it. I'm good at him. And it's actually Brenden. But it's okay. Not a lot of people get it right the first few times after a while. But in due time. And let's see. You actually also may see potentially a lot more accepted ways of the darker forms of fashion and artistic expression come out of this and start taking on to the scene. Like, for example, since Taurus represents the face and beauty, well, honestly, Adam, I'm one of those that's like, magic's magic, occult's occult. If I have to do something to whack someone and tell them, hey, stop it, well, gotta do it. I'm quite a mixed bag. That sounds so bad. Let's see. Oh, I am English. Then there's Scottish. Ah, no, not Nessie again. Oh, no, Nessie just went up John's kilt. Oh, John, Nessie just bit your snake. Oh, no, he's gonna get your bagpipes. Oh, there go the bagpipes. In Scottish. German. I can't do a German accent that well, so not much for that one. I'm also American Native, Cherokee tribe. So I can't basket weave, so that's the best I got. What else? I can't really think of any more off the top of my head. Maybe just a tiny, very small amount of crap. What's that called? Scandinavian? I think. Yeah, Scandinavian. I was thinking Norway? No, Scandinavian, not Norwegian. That's all I can really think of off the top of my head, but. And also, if there has been anybody, especially like a woman, that's being abused by those in authority that are male figures, this is probably where there's going to be a situation where that woman who's in that situation where she's pretty much being ignored, silenced, and pretty much just blown over and pushed over by those in power, especially their masculine figures doing it. All I can say is yikes. Just make sure they have, a life insurance policy first before, the tragedy strikes. That's all I'm going to say. That's kind of dark, but that's the idea with Black Lilith. What else? There can also be maybe even more scandalous happenings taking about on the eclipse, because that's also Black Lilith, the seduction part. That's the best way I can say. Black Moon Lilith is the unknown. You never know what she's going to do. Because she also co-rules the sign of Scorpio. Specifically the part of Scorpio, which is Jeshta, which is actually tied to the Dark Goddess. And Jeshta, if you make any planet that's, like if somebody has a planet in Scorpio within Jeshta, if you make, especially if it's like the moon, Mars, even the ascendant, or anyone that has a lot of Jeshta placements, if you make that person mad, they will literally tear you to shreds and completely scar your psychological well-being. Don't push it. Don't try. Because they excel in that psychological warfare. Especially when it comes to dark seduction, in a way that's like, oh, that just put some dread in my head. That kind of dark. That's just how it is. I'm not saying it's good or bad, that's just what it is. There's something else I wanted to... And since it's happening in the Jeshta, not everybody will have it. If you have Scorpio, like a Scorpio sun, it just depends on the degrees, and I don't have my computer able to connect to Wi-Fi right now, because if I do, it's going to drop the signal because it's so bad. But if you put in your, like if you pull your chart up, if you have Scorpio within, I'm just going to take a random shot in the dark. Essentially before it turns into Sagittarius up until, I believe I believe it's the start of the 17th degree. Don't quote me on it. If I'm most definitely wrong, okay. I just don't have it off the top of my head. But somewhere between there and slightly before that, that's Anuradha. Then after Anuradha's Jyeshta. But since this is happening in Taurus, and then opposing 180 degrees, we have, well, we're going to have the Sun. And, okay, computer, can you stop having a temper tantrum? Cupcake. Now my computer's deciding to throw a hissy fit. Stop it. It was cute the first time. Don't do it again, please. Okay. So, essentially, oh, that's why. Hold on. So, there's going to be also looking at this eclipse. Oh, man. Sun, Mercury, and Mars. Both looking at this. But again, Moon is protected by Lilith. She is protected by Lilith. Good luck. Good luck damaging that moon. Yes, Maddie, 100% yes. That's actually one of my biggest pet peeves. Like, legit pet peeves. Oh, Lilith? Yeah, I want to have a good night with her. Of all the things you're going to go towards her with, it has to be getting lucky. Plastic one. Besides, you don't even know if she's going to be like, oh, no. I think that's one of the things that a lot of people don't expect coming. Because actually, believe it or not, my mentor Russell, who also happens to have his birthday pretty close to this eclipse when it happens, because why not? He actually pulled me into it. What you got? Moon and Pluto are conjunct in that degree. Oh, in Jyeshta? In Jyeshta, right? It's funny. Speaking of Jyeshta, when it happens, the Sun and Mercury are going to be in Jyeshta. Because why not? And Mars is going to be in Anuradha. Oh boy. Which one's the lowest degree? Moon or Pluto? So, okay, so to give an example. So for Caleb, this is going to have Moon, Black Moon Lilith, and Rahu in the same sign as where your retrograde Saturn is in. So the eclipse is going to happen. Saturn's going to be affected by it, but the negative effects happening to Moon in the 10th house. Okay. So essentially the reputation and how you're going to be handling situations regarding the dark and like really dark kept down emotions, it's going to be to a point where it's going to be known that you're not going to take up with this BS anymore. If somebody is putting you down, nope. In fact, it might... Just make sure you don't backhand someone, Kayla. Because that might happen. You might get pushed to a point that day. So just make sure that, you know, you don't table flip on someone. Let's see. So Jabrail having Pluto the lowest degree. So essentially Moon is sitting on Pluto's head. Oh, shit head. So essentially, when there's transformation happening, it does give you that sense of security. You feel secure when you're able to transform stuff and being able to take something from one state, flip it onto another extreme. And also, if you happen to have anyone being able to stick alongside your emotional moments where they can be the darkest ever, if you still have someone being able to stick by you no matter what, that'll bring you so much security and so much sense of grounding and safety. If you have someone that's able to do that. And Rahu in the 8th house in Aries. Rahu in Aries is essentially, let's just say to start with Rahu in Aries. Aries is the first sign, the youthful sign, the first of them all, impulsivity. And Rahu is the Pac-Man. So essentially you have a strong pull to actually take action and take strong initiative in matters of occult. Hey, Gary. Because having strong initiative in the occult, and also whenever tragedy strikes, because that's the 8th house, or sudden events happening, you taking, I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. Since Rahu represents a charging army, you're putting a charging army in Aries. Yeah, it's running something over. So, in transformation and also secrecy, research work, and stuff that's hidden underground, and also digging deep for something and yanking it out. Well, if you have to backhand someone, Kayla, just make sure nobody's watching, being all, oh, what happened? I don't know what happened. He just got a big, hand mark on his face. Yep, it happens. You know how Black Moon Lilith is, just comes out of nowhere and she just slapped me. No, I didn't. He probably just hit himself. No. Oh, that's way too bright. Okay. Since I would also say that, and then you also have for me, there was also another thing too. I was going to tell Maddie about the Rahu and K2 axis with Aries and Libra. K2 and Libra is I've already done this connecting to people. I've already done this balancing thing and having these connections and bartering. I've already done this. Why am I doing this again? Meh with it. So essentially, even though sometimes you understand how to negotiate and actually make deals and actually pretty much be like a mediator, even though you're so well at it, you're just so, why do I have to mediate this stuff? I know I don't want to do it, but no, why do I don't care about mediating, these assets you guys have and figuring out who should get the fair share. I really don't want to do this. Meh with it. I don't want to connect to this stuff. But if I have to, fine. Because that's K2. It's what you mastered in the past, and you're bringing in this life like, oh, okay, I know how to do this, and I don't want to do it because I'm so dissatisfied by it. And since it's the 2nd and 8th, essentially, if there's anything regarding like immediate family, like within the household, mediating between the fair share between like food and all that. And you're kind of a little like disinterested in mediating within like anything that involves like anything that gives security, fixed assets, or like saying like, okay, you get this much of the asset and you get this much. That's it. And I don't want to do this again because of that meh with K2. But now that the case that's going on, I mean, I like to keep it, when it comes to legal things and legal matters and stuff like that, I mean, I like to keep it simple. Just keep it simple and neutral. Don't care who or what it is. When it comes to the law, man's law specifically, it has to be pretty much idiot-proof, as I like to call it. Did it happen? Yes or no? Did he have a weapon? And was he an adult that was pretty much allowed to have that weapon? No. Yeah. And to be honest, throwing out Judge Judy, I mean, to be completely honest, even though she is an honorary judge, she still has the title. Even if it's crazy and a little bit off the wall sometimes, it's her courtroom. She can run it how she pleases because she's given that responsibility of having the title. So her courtroom, she can have it however she wants. That's just how it is. Me personally, I like how she gets in there and says, "What, are you stupid? Why are you doing this? What is wrong with you?" Because, to best put it, that's what happens when you have a Saturnian person that has a strong, feisty Mars influence. You have Saturn really snapping at someone and reality checking them in the face, which is a good thing, because it grabs a hold of them and shows them their BS, sticks their face in it, pulls them out and says, "Don't do it again," and flings them. But the case, well, I have to look at it the way that it, like, essentially one little step at a time. Okay. He had a weapon that he was not supposed to have, and in the possession when he was a minor, not an adult. Armed with a weapon that he is not allowed to have, doesn't have the proper documentation to even have it. I haven't gotten to that point yet, though, Adam. Haven't gotten to that point yet. We're still going to the part of him going to a scene with a weapon. We haven't gone past that yet. He's taking a weapon that he's not allowed to have, arming himself, with the intention that possibly in some way, shape, or form, he might have to shoot someone. But now my question, why do you feel so obligated to go to a place where there's going to be putting you at risk and putting you in harm's way? Why do you have to do that? You're not an adult. You have a curfew because you're a minor. That's just how the law is written. And when you're making the choice to arm yourself with a weapon you're not allowed to have, and making the choice to go into a situation knowing you could get injured or possibly killed, you essentially are taking that hit of, I'm going in with a weapon I'm not supposed to have. I'm guilty of it. You can't throw that out. Did he go there with a weapon he's not supposed to have? Yes or no? Did it happen? It did. It sticks. No ifs, ands, buts, or tushies. How I look at it is either it happened or it didn't. Now, yeah, I'll do that in a second, Maddie. Now, when we scooch over to him, let's see. Which one? I'm trying to remember the whole incident and how it played out. So now he's on the scene, armed, and now it's getting like past the curfew and all that. So he's what's that called? Curfew violating, because again, minors up until they turn 18, they have to have a parental figure or appointed guardian figure to be with them while they're out over curfew time. They have to. But I believe the curfew effect was for everyone. I believe. I could be wrong. Now that part I might be incorrect, and I can get hit in the face with the correction, and I don't mind it. But still. So, now, here's the thing. If that's the case, she is guilty of essentially giving her son, who's a minor, an automatic weapon that he's not given the documentation to even wield, and he's not legally allowed to. So she's contributing to him and whatever he's going to do, contributing to it. Illegally, pretty bad, and involving a minor. That makes it worse. If he's not 18, he's a minor. This could have happened the day before his birthday. Still a minor. That's just how it is. That's not good. Can it be tried as an adult? It can. But still, minor's a minor. Though, for me, I still have to say, at least in my opinion, self-defense was activated. Yes, I will acknowledge that. But however, though, could have this all been avoided if he didn't make the choice to go and arm himself with a weapon in the first place? Yes. Because still, at least in my standing and viewpoint, self-defense is valid, yes. But manslaughter still needs to be put on the table. I'm not saying he should be guilty of it. It still needs to be put on the table. At least. 2 counts of 2 people losing their lives, or was it 3? I know that one got shot in the arm pretty bad. And that is well, I don't know if you can, well, nah, I don't think, well, it's, the way I'm trying to catch it is conflicting between another attempted manslaughter or assault. I can't really, my mind's trying to figure out which one to go with, but still. 2 people were killed, and I mean, of course, the statement of one being a convicted felon of molestation, manslaughter is still manslaughter. And that's just what I have to go with. Did it happen? Yes, it did. Was it the right thing to do? Well, in one person's view, it is, because, someone like that, yeah, of course. But man got killed. So that's still has to be put on the table. And the judge? If you're taking pictures with the defendant, get out of the courtroom. You're not a judge. You're actually being influenced by the defendant. Yep, and don't care what he has to say. If you're a judge, you have to be neutral. Completely neutral. You cannot even sway. You have to stick by the book, and you have to remain neutral. If you show any sign of a little bit of a sway to one way, in favor to one way, the slightest, that trial, if it's swayed in the way where it's looking it's going to go, it better be appealed. Because that judge is being swayed, not being neutral. And he's not upholding his position correctly. That's what I have to say. Because if you're a judge, you have to be 100% neutral. And you have to make the call. Whether you want to or not, you have to make the call by what the books say. And it's a heavy, heavy, heavy decision judges make. And whatever they say, that's what happens. Now the thing is, if that was the case, unless there's evidence to support it and back it up, like if it's actually if it's recorded on audio, or if other people heard it as a witness statement, it really can't stand. If that makes sense. Well, if it was again, that case I haven't heard. These to my knowledge. I can't think of it off the top of my head because I can only think about one case at a time. But if it was recorded on audio, or even if it was a text message or a written statement or typed or handwritten, or if it's documented some way, it can't be dismissed because one word against somebody else's, it can't stand. There's nothing for it physically to be okay, there it is. Can't. So that's just how it goes. It falls over. If it doesn't have something to stand on, it falls through. That's precisely why it is very, very, very important whenever doing anything regarding the law and legal system and you need evidence, make sure you have the documentation to support your defense or your plaintiff or the prosecution or whichever the plaintiff is having their side pushed or the prosecutor is pushing to prosecute someone. You have to have it grounded and pushed. It's something stable to hold it. Okay. Alrighty, Maddie. I'll have my gander at it. That's if he's heard saying that and if it's on audio and it can actually be pointed to him. Now, technically, the judge should not have dismissed that. In fact, that would actually, if a judge was completely neutral, yeah. So the source, it doesn't need to be looked at to see where it came from, just to validate it and whatnot, because if evidence is being brought in, it has to be validated and it actually has to support the claim. The no claim of it, it can't stand. That's just how it is. But if I was the judge and if I saw and it had the support for that, now I have, premeditated now. Planned. That's grounds for it being premeditated. That's just what it is. Did he say that? Yes, he did. So, premeditated. It was planned. Whoops. At least for me as a judge, that would not be good. And I would not have dismissed that. I would not have dismissed that. Because, okay, that has reasonable suspicion to show that possibly he planned this. And actually had the thoughts of carrying this out. And because now the mother got involved in it by handing the weapon, just as guilty for the murder and the manslaughter. Oops. And actually funny, a lot of people say that I should actually... A lot of people say that, wow, you should be like a prosecutor. Well, you know, I thought about it, but the thing is, it's really hard I mean, for me, it's easy to be like really nitpicky and be like, nope, this is what it is, and harshly like being like an ankle biter about it. But it's just, for me, that's not like my character, if that makes sense. Yes. I didn't do anything. I actually really didn't even go to a university, to be honest. Let me scooch back. Let me go back. Okay, the two twin brothers, and they killed their parents. The reason for this, because they were really young. They were molested by the father, and by really young, 4 and 8. Okay. Brother got sentenced for life, but it's interesting to me because you said Lilith and Virgo was someone who can get vengeance. Lilith and Virgo in the first house. Okay. Well, now, with that incident though, was it both the twins getting assaulted? Wait, let me see. Two twin brothers, and they killed the parents. The reason for this is because when they were really young, they were by the father. So, if the father was doing that to them for a long period of time, technically, in the situation, the father is acting, doing child abuse. Yeah. There's also sexual assault on a child. His own, for that matter. Yeah, if the children do what they have to do to protect themselves, to me, well, looking at this guy was abusing them and assaulting them in ways that a father should not even do at all. Acquitted, to me. Now, the Drake Bell case, I don't know. I haven't looked into it, so I'm got nothing with that one. But now, if you really want me to table flip, I'm even kicking off my slippers for this one. You want me to really table flip? But now, also, Maddie, one little side note too. When they got older, what the father did to them as children got stuck in their head. So, as they're growing up, they are being shown that that's how life is, and this is how they behave. Chaotic, vulgar, malefic. So, really, the father kind of weaved his own noose. That was a weird way of putting it, but okay, we'll go with it. But now that the slippers got kicked off, let's go with this one. If we want to talk about cases that make me just want to table flip. Oh, we're going to overturn Roe versus Wade? Why? It's already been sentenced and agreed upon. Leave it alone. Well, essentially that would be like murder. Well, the thing is, okay, here's where we like to play my absolute favorite game. Making it idiot-proof. It's like a TV show. Let's make it idiot-proof. Okay. So, in order for there to be a pregnancy or somebody carrying, usually it's a woman being pregnant. Okay, we got that there. Now, can the government carry a child? Can it get pregnant? Can it be stuck with something, and now it's bloated, and it's going to be expecting something? Can it do that? No. It cannot. Doesn't matter how many times you try to stick the government, it ain't going to do anything at all. So, there's that spot. Next spot. Why in the heck are there men making the decisions for a woman carrying a child? How would they know? Why should they have any say with it? I mean, they're not the ones carrying it, so why do they have to have a say in it? And I mean, the only saying that they can say, and actually say that they can have some say, if they actually do stick it. Which, their age, I don't think it works. Kind of harsh and like point blank, but still. You guys don't even need to even be worrying about that anymore because it doesn't work, I bet you. And when you guys just stop, yelling at each other, it's like going back to kindergarten. The two group of kids and fighting each other over for the sandbox or whatever. School is like school life never ends, and as you grow older, it's like, okay, the playground is now the capital. And but in all seriousness, though, Roe versus Wade was agreed upon, and essentially it was weighted. Funny enough, I don't read that much at all. I'm very selective on what I read. If I have to pick a book that I am reading now, because the major thanks to Gary, one of the books I'm reading is this one. Through the Looking Glass. No, it is not Alice in Wonderland. It is a search for the self in the mirror of relationships by Richard Eisman. And now, don't get me wrong. So far, this book is interesting, but just for me, based on his writing style, I'm looking at it just like, why the heck is this written like a play? Audience. We have been mostly talking about the major aspects to the moon, such as the square and opposition. But can you talk more about the significance of some of the minor aspects to the moon? It's like, do I have to have... When I'm reading this, I'm thinking, do I have, a group of people saying this? And then there's Richard. Yeah, so I see audience Richard, like, oh, so this book is written as a playwright. So, okay, now who's going to play the audience? Well, good job. You'll be the audience, and then I'll be Richard Branson, or I don't know. Richard Eitzman, not Richard Branson. I'm not going to have the virgin effect in here. Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not going to be pure, fresh meat about that. Oh, that was a seminar? Yes, Adam, I do. It took me a minute, like, this thing's like a playwright. Like, it shows, like, character, it's just, like, entity lines, like, okay, we have Richard, the audience. So, not only did, it was a subject I like, it's also a playwright. So I have to find a group of people for the audience, and then I can actually act that book out. Okay, here's your line, audience. Yeah, you're gonna have to say it when it comes. No. But anyway. Well, it depends, Adam. For a thought form, a week-long rehearsal. I'd say a week-long performance. Wow. I'd probably be like, you know what? Somebody be my double for Richard. Bring in the double. For a thought form, though, it depends on, what kind of level you're looking at. Because there's the thought form, which is like a, kind of like a one push being. There's the servitor, which is more complex. Then there's the... I just had it and I lost it. Egregore, whatever. I'm just gonna call it Igor, which is a kind of a joint effort. The Golem. Then there's the Poltergeist. Careful with that one. But essentially the thought form and all these beings, the core of all of them is that they're man-made. They come from man. Divine beings, spiritual beings, they're not man-made. Oh yeah, those two. I almost said two plus. 2 plus, yeah, they are also thought form at a different level. I mean, they have many names too, but it really just depends. Essentially, it's creating these beings being specific. It's part of chaos magic, and essentially, the best way I can describe it is like if you're going into a MOBA game, and you're deciding your character, and you're just giving it what it can do. But the good news is that these beings that you man-make and create yourself, you have no limits with. Just make sure, please, you put a fail switch. In case if it decides to be like, you know what, screw this. Rebel and do as I please. Whatever the kill switch is, ends. That, or Kabbalistic magic, or the Kabbalah, I got nothing. I haven't studied any of the Kabbalah, so go fish. Best I got for that. And speaking of the Kabbalah, I don't even know why this popped in my head. Like, actually doing these step-by-step set in the Goetia. No. I'm not even going to be doing it like that. No. Especially like a good example, like King Beleth's entry. He must command King Beleth into the triangle with a... what kind of stick was it? He must command King Beleth into the triangle with some kind of specter, or, wand thing. And if he doesn't comply, he must rehearse the bonds and seals to actually restrain and all that. No. Nope, not gonna do that. Because it's like... I actually have Adam. And one of them... Actually, how did I get one? Let's see. Wait a minute. Okay, thought forms are made... Well, it's actually simple, because... The best way I can say, Kayla, on the most simplistic level, you think it, and you say it exists, therefore it is. I think, therefore I am. That statement. Gary would probably be able to explain that a lot better than me. Whoop. Okay. In my opinion, what are the top 3 strongest planets in astrology? The strongest 3. By strongest meaning, are you meaning that the most effect on the person? That actually caused the most effect? Because, well, I know I got 2 already in my head. The third, well... It kind of depends on, like, what do you mean by the strongest? The ones that affect the heart the most? and hit them the hardest or cause the most influence? Because mainly it's the inner most effect on the person. Okay, number one, moon. Moon's the mind. If moon is damaged, somebody's crippled bad. If somebody's moon is badly damaged and is not boding well, ouch. Because the moon is the mind. Somebody's mind is damaged, can't really function that well. So if moon is not well, not going to have the best of time. But if moon's okay, they can function, they're good. Or it's okay, they can function, all right, no problem. Next one. Now, a lot of people might look at me odd for this one. Mercury. I'm serious. Mercury. If you can't communicate and if you can't interact with someone, even if it's like communicating by tapping or sign language, if you can't do that, you really can't really express anything. And you don't have everyday intelligence. So you don't know how things work and what happens. So, and also Mercury is the other part of the mind, the logical side of the mind, where Moon is the more emotional, reactive side. I'm going to bring that down a little bit. And then the third. Yeah, okay, we all know which one this is going to be. Yep, he with them hips, Saturn. Why? He transits into a house. Unless if you did a lot of effort and really tried hard and put in a lot of hard blood, sweat, and tears and a lot of times of going, God, why? Then it's actually different. But Saturn, he's the one that tells you exactly how you did in this house and sign where he's stepping in. There's only one other entity that comes to mind, and it's not even really a god, divine figure. It's called chaos, the void, because that's kind of where everything came from. From chaos came Nyx, the dark. From Nyx came Erebos. Then came everyone else. To best put it. At least according to Greek mythology. And this chaos is actually what's deemed as source. Not Yahweh. No. In fact, from chaos came Yahweh. And also Lilith. Yeah, awkward. But when Yahweh came out first, boy, that depression though. Shortly thereafter, out comes Lilith. What is this place? How did I get here? This place is so bland. Pretty lady! Hey! Oh, what are you? I'm so happy I'm not alone anymore. Will you be my queen? I don't even know you, you creepy old man. Get away from me. You have to be my queen, please. If you put your hands on me, dude, you're gonna wish you didn't. Because, yeah, you're probably gonna have your cobweb beard ripped off and put down your throat if you get closer. And, yeah. That lovely shenanigan happened, and him getting bamboozled and tricked into doing Genesis. Just getting away. Boy, was that fun. Funny. Well, about chaos, well, it's the void. And the void The best way I can describe it is it's kind of like how what Nick said to me many thousands of moons ago. Probably not that many. Essentially, all that the darkness is just a void that has everything that you say in there. And that's what comes out. Whatever you say is in there, that's what comes out. So, why be afraid of something that gives exactly what you say and what you want? Why be afraid of something that's just so giving and attentive to give you what you say and what you want? Why be afraid of that? Shouldn't that be something you appreciate and love? Something that just gives and gives and gives and gives whatever you say? Yeah. And she's also the one that also said to me shortly before, something that I just said to that effect. She also said, you must learn to see without your eyes. Then that's how you'll see everything. Mm-hmm. Which makes sense, Kayla. Now, chaos, well, it's chaos, the best way to put it, is silence. Complete silence. In terms of having no idea what it sounds like. But the thing is, if you take somebody, you put them in a room that's completely quiet, they'll go mad. You even put them in the room where the sound, and they can actually start hearing how their internal organs and the blood flow goes, just by how the room is, it'll drive them mad. That's chaos. Sound breaks that silence. If that silence, which is chaos, breaks, the sound waves going out breaks it. The Big Bang sound. Great. Hopefully nobody from the FBI is watching because found it. I found it out. Now quick, delete the video before they fanboy at me like, how did you come you told them this? Well, it's just what it is. Keep your... Oh no, don't send the men in black. Don't take me to Area 53. 51. Now, funny enough, Nyx, the best way to put it here. Let me give you a hand with that. Let me give you a hand with that. Whoops, wrong button. Boop, boop. Badoof. Congrats. Now, here's Nyx. Yep, I am dead serious. Yep, that was the thing that I was talking about. That room where you can hear your blood flowing, yeah. That quiet. She's also the subconscious. Wherever there's the dark, and when your subconscious comes to the front, that's when she will most likely come and appear. I'm looking up, and I actually see a manifestation in front of me. But then again, I'm used to it. Cupcake. I don't even know who you is. Sorry. One of them. Something else to say. Like, oh, can I come in too? No, don't. But anyway. And usually the best way to actually go towards Nyx is just do this. Just to like that. Close the eyes, because now you're seeing the dark. But according to a scientist, the Big Bang happened in an alien laboratory. Okay. Okay, whatever you say, Mr. Scientist guy. Don't know how you got that planned, but we'll go with it. We'll nod our head and go with it. Then before you know it, we'll be like, okay, now we're able to go to 4D and 5D. Oh boy, here we go. But anyway, inflammation. But anyway, I need to actually have practice with this deck. Tarot V, or how vampire decks are supposed to be. Not this cheesy, woozy, wooey, sparkly, I almost said twinklight, twilight stuff. None of that. Oh, he's a vampire. He sparkles. Are you trying to say that vampires are, that kind of nasty? And in fact, if Gary's still here, I think you actually... Now, this is actually pretty odd for this deck, in my opinion. Let me get the card out. The 3 of Swords in this deck actually made me think, wait a minute. Something is off here. But I like it, though, because it's like, oh, Rhetoric Smith? Nah, nope. We're going to have our own twist with it. Let me just play Dig Dug real quick to find that one card. Oh, I was going to take a note of that one too. What? Okay, anyway, now I have returned. Now where's that one card I'm looking for? I'd be like, oh, look at that, it's at the bottom of the deck. No, it's not. Where in the... There it is. Boop! Oh, that one's backwards. Oh, it's... Priestess. Just double checking to see if there's another card that I wanted to point out real quick, but I don't think there is that I can think of. Okay, so the 3 of Swords in this deck. Well, doesn't that look like some kind of indication of like, oh, that's the same gendered romance? Like, oh, look at that. Because I don't see that as a sign of heartbreak. I see, at least with this depiction, I see both of them are vampires. One is actually at the feet of another, and the other one looks like he's protecting him and, keeping him safe and looking out for him. There's the 3 of Swords for some reason. Because I think, if this is the 3 of Swords, where's the other pointer? It's funny, okay? And funny enough, and speaking of that, there's the men, then here's the same for the women. It's like, oh, look at that. Good job, Alejandro. Very clever. I like it. And also, at least with this card, I think, oh, hi, hell. I see you, faintly. And to answer your question, Sigrid, no matter what it is, always, every single time, mine's always the same one. And in this deck, I love how it's depicted, but I'm kind of wondering why the heck there's this also with her. Because I think, okay, who the heck are you? Are you trying to be Cernivorous Snape? The bloody Potter. Defense against the dark arts. Well, that didn't go as planned. Where the bloody heck is it? There we go. With how my card's depicted, it's like, oh, Severus Snape, what are you doing? Are you trying to... It's funny because the woman figure is actually taking a chomp out of his wrist, and the look on the guy's face is like, oh, hold on, she needs to have her serving. Hold on, Potter, she needs to have her serving real quick. Milady, take the bite. I'm better now. Away with you, Snape. Bloody Potter. But, I mean, I see that and I think, oh, well, look at that. You know what they say. The Queen is the most powerful figure. And without the Queen, the King doesn't have his backbone. And for reasons, I don't know why. I'm just going to just say and point this out. Where'd it go? I just saw it. By any chance, is anybody familiar with Assassin's Creed? Yeah, that game. And how they have like 3,000 titles now. Assassin's Creed. Let's see here. Assassin's Creed, L.A. Noire. I don't know. But still. My good sir Ezio, are you lost? Ezio, how'd you get here? And while we're here, I'm going to ask you, how the heck did you end up in Soul Calibur? Honest question. Ezio. How'd you get here? I also like how all the pages in this deck, or the names, they're all vampire hunters. All the pages are vampire hunters. Like, okay. Well, here is She Who's Most Sassy. Which I think, like, milady, you seem a little bit too innocent, but I know that's your trick. I know that trick. I'm so innocent and so pure. That's how they let their guard down, and all of a sudden, oops, you've been poked in the heart. Not by a piece of wood, but, you know, something metal and pointy. I have to point this out. Okay, who brought Vayne from League of Legends in this? I smell the black magics. It actually kind of does look like a good Vayne skin for that matter. It's buff, well... No, actually, I think it's... Oh. It's that other Slayer. Anyone? Anybody know? Oh, it's that other Slayer. Now here. Whoop. Oh, this... It's not really Buffy's hairstyle. That one's probably more fitting. And also the random husky. The Page of Cups, though, is like... Oh, Page of Cups is a gentleman with a, you know, mask, and he's the Invisible Man. And actually, he doesn't have any feet. And he's floating. Yeah. It happens. Okay, got the wands, got the pentacles. Oh, and also, here's a little gem about the pentacle suit. Have a looky look. Yep, faith. I really hope it'll be able to focus. Okay. Come on, focus, you stupid thing. Yeah, it's not gonna do it. But on the pentacle suit, it actually has the inverted pentagram, the symbol for Satanism, and it also has two names. On the top, it's Samuel. Bottom, it's Lilith. Epic plot twist. And that was when we realized, oh, she claimed this deck. This is in there. And honestly, of all the pages, this one has to be my favorite one. The Page of Swords or Page of Knives. Because this one actually looks like she's off to go stabbing. Like, uh-oh. This one is going to go, shank someone. This one's not having it. It even has that look of, like, they ain't going to be taking a bite out of me. That look like, oh, well, excuse me. Crazy, sassy one. And the knights, though, I just realized something too. Wait. Okay. Okay, that is Pentacle, Cup, and Sword. And I just need to find the one with the twigs. Or the beating sticks. Page of beating sticks, yeah. Now, while I'm already this far, I'm going to look for one more card. Ah, there he is. Oh boy. Hey everybody, I found him. I found Count Durak. I found Vlad the, Impaler. Found him. Sire, I have a question. Why did you have to, poke through everyone? Why did you have to, penetrate every single person that you killed? Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me with them eyes, mister. Oh, you nasty. But anyway, stop. So, Gary, I think you might appreciate this one. But still. Which one? Okay, let's start with one that you can easily see. Here is the Knight of Cups. Oh, do you happen to notice what she's writing? Uh-oh, the Mika has emerged. Gary, do you happen to see what she's writing? Something's fishy. There's one. Oh boy. You happen to see what he's writing? Dragon. You happen to see what she's riding. It's a spider. Because the legs are at the bottom and a little bit on the top too, broken off. You see what he's riding? No. Now it's right. You see what he's riding? A tiger. Definitely not planned. Yeah, you know, the Knight of Twigs is like, my good sir, knight. You don't want to do that because that's the last place you want to get bitten. I'm going to do a wheel spread for myself, which is the pull, essentially, well, technically you're supposed to pull one card for each month, so you pull 12, but I'm going to be extra antsy-dancy. Well, he gets ripped in two. Yeah. Yes, Kayla. I'm just gonna pull 12 for myself just to see. I haven't even used this deck yet, so I'm gonna see what it really does for me. First blood. Oh boy. Okay, I don't know you that well, and you don't know me that well, but that's about to change. Card stock. Splendito. Tell me the 12 cards, 365 days from now to next year. And tell me the core theme for each month. Bonus points if you make me do a flip. That was a prank. Don't actually make me do a flip. I'll land on my head. Well, rude. Rest of November. Oh, shit. The Tower card. The G. Thanks. Oh, that's a good slap to the face. It was a prank, but okay, fine. I see you're the kind of deck that doesn't like taking jokes. I'm not making that one. The wrong lever happens for the rest of this month. For it's the most annoying time of the year, December. Well, the world. Or, you know, definitely not ascending tutu lady. And then after December, January. Page of Cups, or he who floats with pointy stick. Okay. But also very classy. February. February, we have he who is flaming on a dragon. He who flames most, but not as much as his mount. Okay. Knight of Twigs. March is the star. But this depiction, I'm kind of like, really? Oh, look, it's a dead or a vampire guy looking out the window. He's like, okay. Yeah. It could have been better, but we'll go, fine, we'll go with it. It's just like, Romeo, where art thou, Romeo? Oh, you're here. Yeah. I'm dead. What do you want from me? I don't know. Okay. November, December, January, February, March, April. April is Ace Pentacles. Li Mei. Mei, not Li Mei from Mortal Kombat. God, she was so annoying. Mei is the sun. That flamer. Nah. June. She who's not having it. July. Six of Cups. There's something on the wall that I was trying to read in that artwork. I can't see what that says, but we will see eventually when we do the instant replay. Okay. Gotta recount me months real quick. November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. August. Somehow now, 9 of Cups, somehow we're now in China? Okay. I don't know. September, wake me up when copyright ends. Yeah. I just hate that so much. September. Queen of gold shiny things. And now we're back to October. The month that I decided to be like, okay, time to start this new game plus. Oh, I hit just regular new game. I don't get my plus equipment from last save. Lovely. October. October. Well, we have the Mongolians coming. The Mongolians are coming. The Mongolians are coming. Oh boy. Oh. And then, to wrap it all up, 365 days later from this date, last card is the Two of Swords. Give me 3 clarifiers, if you would. 1. She who is most high. Hey, Priestess. If, you couldn't point that out. Definitely not Hecate, the Wheel of Fate. Definitely not. Totally not. And he who thinks he's hot, shit, the Emperor. And bottom card is 7 of Pentacles, and I like how the 7 of Pentacles is depicted. It's a petrified angel praying, just like, I have faith. Well, looks like Medusa got you. So good. So whoopsie whoops for that one. So taking this off from the tippity top. No bippity bopping going on over here. Bippity boppity nope. So for the rest of this month, currently, I'm expecting to have an oh crap moment. For December, well, it's going to come to an end and something new is going to start, which will lead into January being getting a message of something, or getting a message that actually puts me in action to be a bit more spiritually cloaked and more behind the scenes. Okay. February. Something's probably going to agitate me and make me, turn up the sass and get feisty. March. The stars, I might actually look out and think, wow, what am I doing with my life? April. Well, during the month of March, thinking, what am I doing with my life? April, something comes in and is like, you must do this. Okay, whatever you say, creepy coin in the sky. Then the next month after that, May, oh, I get blinded by the sun because I hate the sun. And it actually causes me harm. But on the bright side, after the sun, in June, I become she who's not having it. It's like I go from it's like this comes in. You must do this. Oh, God, why? Why? Fine, damn it. In July, I might be going back and revisiting something, and I'm trying to figure out what this says on the wall. Where's the clicker thing? Oh, I just got myself in the eye with a laser. Escuchi the tushy. Yep. Open. Now, let's see here. So, because there's something on the wall, and I can't read it that well. And there's writing on the wall. Memento Mori. I got nothing. Wait a minute. Give me that. I'm just going to ignore that, and we're going to keep going ahead. Somehow in August, apparently I go to China, or I get a wish fulfillment, and heck. Okay. September, I guess I become more financially secure for myself and taking really good care of myself and not being really moved by anything. October, happy birthday to me. The Mongolians are coming to celebrate. Here come the Huns. And then next year, oh, I have a choice to make. Which one do I listen to? I'm going with the dark one. Clarifying all this, funny enough, it's all majors. We have She Who's Most High, the Emperor, and then definitely not Hecate with the Wheel of Fate. So clarifying all this is intuition, has divine support, and luck. Actually, feminine and masculine merge together, and they both progress forward. Look at this. She has a spot in my entities that I work with, but I haven't really worked alongside her for a while. And tonight was actually a special night for her, by the way, if I remember correctly. Unless you're somebody who's over in the different time zone that's like, well, we're already ahead of that. Yeah, whatever. Hold on. Let me check something. Holy crap, that's not good. That's